to Sacred Harmony, where personal peace meets planetary purpose. Tonight, we are joined by the luminous Kate Heartsong, Reiki master, empowerment coach, and author of Humanity's Cry for Change. Kate believes that healing isn't just self care, it's sacred activism. When we let go of inner upsets and step into joy, we don't just transform our own lives, we elevate the collective. So get ready to explore how personal empowerment becomes a global contribution. Welcome to the show, Kate. It's an honor to
Oh,
have you.
thank you. It's such a joy to be here. And what a beautiful introduction. I love that we can share about what we do with ourselves can really make a positive impact to the world. So I'm very excited. Thanks for having me.
hmm So, Kate, you have said that healing ourselves is the first step to healing humanity. Why do you believe individual transformation matters so much right now?
Oh, yes, yes. Because we are all interconnected, because there is a oneness. When I do my own personal healing and when I do my personal work or I deal with any upsets that come up, anything within me, certainly I feel better. And then people who are around me, they will feel better. They benefit because my vibration rises. And as my vibration rises within me, it ripples out. And this is also true where it ripples out and it adds to the collective consciousness. And what I love and what helps me to recognize the incredible contribution that each one person makes. What helps me realize the impact of this is when we take one person times, 500,000 or 500 million people, all of this adds to the collective consciousness. We all have the creative power to make change. But I truly believe, and others will say, it does start within us.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
And can one person really shift the collective energy around them just by doing the inner work?
There's a lot to be said about doing our inner work, and there's so many modalities, and it certainly depends also on what type of work are we focusing on. Some of us have, well, many of us have emotional trauma from childhood. I mean, this is typical and very true for me as well. I am one to really empower and encourage people to know it really is possible to make positive change because I'm living proof. I had a very difficult childhood, as many of us do, and low self-esteem and lots of shame and just not very confident. But over the years, using various modalities and the intention to have a better life and taking, well, having psychotherapy and just a wide array of modalities for healing and different workshops. I've had a lot of breakthroughs so that now I am able to encourage others that yes, they too can make positive change. So there's so many modalities depending on the type of work that we need to do. Some of it is a physical. And so when we work with our physical ailments, that takes a whole different realm of work, and yet there's always that, emotional component that has, interweaves with physical, and then, of course, there's the emotional components and mental components, so we're just a complex but amazing beings on the planet with the emotional and mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of us. And ideally, if we can work with all of those aspects, maybe at the same time or one after another, depending on what we're going through, that we can really do make that change and shift. And I also want to share how important it is to recognize it is totally, absolutely okay and necessary for us to take care of ourselves. It is so not. egotistical or selfish. Because the more that we are healed, the more we are able to serve others. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons why we're on the planet is to serve others in the best alignment we can.
Yeah. And that ripple effect, starting with one, is both humbling and hopeful in a world craving healing.
Definitely in a world creating feelings, and everything is energy. You probably know that at the most basic elemental level of all life, there is energy. And it's because there is energy that, it interpenetrates with energy around it, but it does go much beyond that, so much further, but there is that interconnection. And what I'd love for your listeners to also know is our emotions and our thoughts, our words, our actions, they are all energy. So as we are thinking something or we say something, it actually projects out, it broadcasts to the universe. And it's the very nature of the universe to bring like energy to like energy. So it's a magnet. So whatever I put out, I am a magnet bringing back to me when we do it with feeling, like you mentioned, the feeling and the energy and the intention we have. And it happens when we can bring back to us, when we repeat certain words or thinking. It's not that we're going to manifest our perfect car when we think once about it, but if we think it with feeling and act as if and be in a place of knowing that we deserve it, but at the same time, recognize, may this or something even better come to pass for me, because we don't always know what's best for us. I truly believe our higher power, the universal intelligence, knows what's best. So I may have a desire, but I also believe it's good to have that detachment. We talk a lot about detachment, don't we?
Totally. And your book, Humanity's Cry for Change, speaks to this moment in the history. What do you feel humanity is truly asking for right now?
Oh, thank you. That's an awesome, wonderful question. I truly believe so many of us deep inside really would love to have peace, more widespread harmony, like the beautiful name of your podcast, Sacred Harmony. I believe most all of us really deep inside want to have more widespread collaboration, respect, kindness, and to recognize the unity consciousness. I believe that there is a deep cry from each one of us, perhaps unconsciously, but that there is a deep cry that we really do want change. And unfortunately, when people are in such pain and difficulty, that's often the best way we learn or the best way we are motivated to take action. When we're in a life of joy all the time and everything is going well, and that's wonderful, but yet it doesn't push us to make change. But we are in a place individually and throughout humanity where there's even more escalation of the violence and war and more division between people than ever before. And we, at the most basic elemental level of our existence, each one of us really do want to have peace and joy. And that gives us an option for a better ability to then expand into even higher consciousness. So, in my book, yes, Humanity's Cry for Change talks so much about, well, what is the reason for the change, and how can we better navigate it? So it's really a key topic today, more than ever, I believe.
100%.
Yes.
And how do we listen to the collective cry without becoming overwhelmed or paralyzed by it?
It's it is easy to become overwhelmed, but there are so many things we can do if we are willing and if we are wanting to certainly help ourselves and bring ourselves into as much as possible living in a place of center and joy. But that's not always easy. We have many challenges that come to us. So this requires a commitment to ourselves and to humanity to live a mindful, conscious life. We are better able to remember to use tools that will help bring us back to center, to bring us back into calm. It doesn't mean that we ignore our upsets. Upsets will come, but it means that when we live in a place of awareness and acknowledge our upsets and then process through them, we have a better chance to then create more inner peace. And as we do, we are better able to then actually create peace on earth because, yeah, you recognize what I'm sharing. Yes, everything that is inside of us is projected on the outside. So there are so many people who are into self criticism, negative self talk. They beat themselves up. People might say, I am my own worst enemy. I'm always beating myself up. Well, that is projected out. And that's one of the reasons why such a prevalence across the globe of war and violence and conflict, because it's a projection on a collective basis of what's going on inside of us. So this is again getting back to your first question, how important it is that we do that inner work so that we can have minimize the conflict that we have within and increase the inner peace and inner calm and joy. Again, not expecting that we'll be there 100% of the time, but at least most of the time. Yeah.
And that invitation to feel and act without drowning is such a needed perspective right now.
Yes. It's so important we do this without having doubt. We need to have the confidence and the intention. There's so much intent, so much power to our setting an intention, but then also to have a commitment to follow through with our intention in life. And if we can, to build our confidence in ourselves. Not always easy, but many people overcome self doubt. My clients, as a coach, I support my clients mainly with raising their self confidence and also to recognize their ability to make positive change because we are powerful creators. So when we can be in a place of confidence and minimize that self doubt, it can help us to move forward. Yes.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yes.
And you talk about letting go of upsets to access more joy. What does that emotional release process look like in real life?
Oh, excellent question again. Emotional release. Boy, much easier said than done. It requires, first of all, an awareness of what is the upset, or is there something that's happening? Let's say, for example, someone in your family who you love very much who is going through a terminal illness, or there's just something it's out of your control. And it's so difficult, but all the worry in the world is not going to change it. All the resistance to it is not going to change it. It's important to be aware of the feeling and acknowledge it. Don't stuff it. Acknowledge the feeling, acknowledge the upset. but then to move through and process as best as we can. And in this processing, we can then release and let go the upset, at least part of it. Processing can be different for different people on how they process emotions, but, sometimes depending on the severity of the upset, journaling on a consistent basis, or going to the gym and working it out with exercise, or just talking to a trusted friend or maybe a professional counselor, whatever seems to work, even just talking about it helps. But then not to hang on to it and to do the best we can to release it. And in this releasing the emotions of it, it can help bring a little more calm. It may not take it away completely, but hopefully next time it won't be as intense. I know I had a experience with a family member some years ago that they had this medical situation and there was just nothing I could do about it. And I was so upset and I was so worried. And I made myself crazy with all that worry. Oh, I'm like, and gee, all that worry just didn't make the situation go away. And I realized, I need to come to terms with it and do my best to come to accept it. So, one of the things I've done, and I continue to do with things that really upset me, is I will use comforting phrases that have truth to them. So, for example, with my family member who had a medical illness, I would say, and I just repeated it many, many times, well, it is what it is. I am willing to learn to accept it. And I would say, all the worry in the world is just not going to change it. And some other phrases I would say is, I am willing to accept that this is her journey in life. And who am I to make a judgment on what that person is going through? What are they to learn and how are they to learn it? So when I realize that it is their journey, and then part of my journey is then to learn to accept it, in that it helps me to release some of the emotional charge and, just releasing and letting go. It doesn't mean I don't get upset later, but with the upset, I got accustomed to it and I came to accept it more so that I can have more inner peace. That was, and I know so many of us go through such difficulty with life, with maybe we're so distraught that we got laid off from work, or we're so upset that our spouse has left us, or there's a terminal illness with someone, or something completely out of our control. What can we do? We may not be able to change that, but we can change our reaction. And this is what then can help us have more inner peace. I'll wrap this part by saying I have often said to myself, do I want peace or upset? And I'm like, okay, well, I want peace. So then I would work on myself. And it's not sometimes that's something that happens overnight, but it works. You just have to be consistent with it and dedicated. That's my experience.
Yeah, and that practice of release is powerful because holding on keeps us heavy, but letting go makes us so free.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, I just said that that practice of release is so powerful because
Yes,
holding on keeps us heavy, but letting go makes us free.
yes, indeed. And if we do want peace within ourselves, especially since we know we cannot control it, then what else can we do? We best work on ourselves. Now, this doesn't mean we don't support the person. No, we're there to support them and help them with what we can. And if it's a situation that we have control over, we go through the same process, have an awareness about it, acknowledge it, process through your emotions. And when you can come to a more calm place after processing, you are better able to think clearly, and then you can come up with actions that are appropriate to take if it's something in your control. And if it's not in your control, take the actions for self care and for self compassion so you can show up in a uh, more strength and courage and alignment with your true self and having at least some more calm to then deal with the situation and show up better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kate Heartsong just reminded us that healing is not a luxury, it's a legacy. Every time we choose peace over pain, release over resentment, we add more light to the collective. So, start small, start inward, because healing yourself is healing the world. Let your joy be the change.
Oh, how beautifully said. And yes, this is why when I share with my clients or I'm out with public speaking or I do podcasts, I am so, what you said is so, so true. And this is what I believe can be very empowering for the individual person to know that, yes, one person really does make a difference because we are interconnected. Don't think that you are not important because who you are, how you show up, is such an important piece to the whole puzzle of humanity. The world needs you and the world needs your light. And so it's so important to offer yourself self-compassion. Talk nice, have positive self-talk, do your inner work, do whatever you can to, yes, work through your upsets. Life will have its ups and downs, but continue working at it because you plus 500 million or a billion people on the planet, yes, I love it. Yes, we can. And we do make a difference. You know, it's the collective consciousness. And I believe, and I've been hearing from all kinds of places and different people, that continues to be an awakening on the planet, that even more and more people are awakening to the truth of that we are interconnected. And as they do their inner work, they do make a difference to the world. So please, please, listeners, know the brilliance and the importance of who you are.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Kate. This was amazing.
Thank you. Oh, gosh, so much fun. The time went so fast.
Mhm. And it was a pleasure to have you. Have a great day.
Thank you. That's such a joy. And if any of your listeners would like to check out my website, just uplifting articles, and feel free to check it out. It's joyfulradiance.com. I would love to hear from you. Joyfulradiance.com.